real quick before I really dive into this. I guess I should have checked it before everyone dialed in. But what we're going to go over today is how to input new equipment, modify existing equipment, add new locations, and modify existing locations. And this is a terrible thing, but there is a problem. Whoops. And we fixed it on the go. Anyway, okay, so I've logged in. Where I went was administration, then over to equipment, and then down to the equipment tab. Now this is all the equipment that is currently loaded and in Hosh's account. It looks like there is some AFV stuff that I'm sure can be deleted. With a lot of vehicles, actually. So I tell you what I will do for you, JP. After we finish this, I'm going to add an archive link here, and if you wanted to clean up your database, you're welcome to.
Yes, very much so.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm not sure how it all got copied over to you, but it was a This is the equipment that's currently there. So the first thing that we're going to do is create a new piece of equipment. So I'm going to click on New Equipment on the top left here. I've actually got 2 tabs going right now. I apologize for that. I have to pull a piece of code off of the Air Force Village site for something we're going to do in just a minute. Okay, so when you click New Equipment, this is what opens up. Now, the equipment identifier just depends on the naming scheme of what you have going at your location. Most people are naming it AHU for an air handler unit, dash, and then a number. So if that's how you are currently doing it, I'll create a test AHU, and I'm going to put an exclamation mark in front of it, just so it's the first on the list. I'm going to name it 975. So that's going to be the equipment identifier. The next thing that you put in is the equipment type. Again, like everything else, you can click the magnifying glass to see what equipment types you have. I'm not sure which ones are in the Sprocket, so I'm going to go ahead and click it. Typically, it is like HVAC or electrical or something of that nature. So we'll see what's in this database. Okay, so there are none in this database. But if you wanted to add HVAC or some other sort through administration, work management, and then down here, oh, equipment types, sorry, under administration, equipment, and equipment types. The next thing you have to put is the location code, where you want it to go. And I'm just going to select first floor building 5410. It's not very specific. You'll want it as specific as you can get. And then for location description here, you don't have to fill it out, but if you wanted to, you could put, if you're this specific, maybe south side of room, right-hand side of window.
Go ahead.
For the equipment system, again, here, if you have the equipment systems built, I'm sure they're not. But you could add it to an equipment system. Now, this might be if you have cooling towers. So there's multiple pieces of equipment that make up the cooling tower. So you can add it to the cooling tower system. This way, if you wanted to see what problems you had on that entire cooling tower, you could look at that system, and it would show you every component and all the work orders associated with it. This is just the description of the piece of equipment. So I'm going to put, this is a test air handler unit. And then if you wanted to continue putting description, you could do that under the extended. But here, the date in service would be the date that we bought it. We'll pretend like it's today. And then the date out of service, if you wanted to fill this in, you could. I'm going to say it has a 5-year life expectancy on it, so I'm going to put it out of service in 2017. If you have a responsible group, well, it doesn't look like it like that. If you had a responsible group, you could put it in there. So anytime some work orders came due with that group, it could notify that person if a PM generated, or et cetera, et cetera. So if you had a group, you could put that in there. If you wanted to give it a priority, so say it was a life safety piece of equipment that when it goes down, or it's just a piece of life safety, you have to check regularly. And then escalation points. I think I've talked about it before, but the way escalation points is it's a total of several different categories. It can be the equipment, location, who inputted the equipment, the priority of the equipment, and the due date. Those 5 items pretty much make up the total escalation score. So if you wanted to give escalation points, and that's a way you can base priority and what work orders need to happen next, you can include that. I'm going to say air handlers aren't a critical piece of equipment. I'm just going to give it a 0 because I'm not overly concerned about it. Now, I like to save before I go to each tab, just in case. I don't want to lose any information that I type in. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. The next tab over is financial. Now, for this piece of equipment, I don't know anyone that's really putting accounting codes, but if you wanted to, you could put the contractor, you could put the purchase date, purchase price. So if we wanted to track the cost of these items, just so, oops, wonder why I went back. If we wanted to track the price of them for depreciation in the future, or if someone broke it, so that we have a good solid number on what it cost us. You can put warranty expiration dates in here, replacement costs. I'm not going to put because I'm going to say it's $350, same as the purchase price. I'm going to go ahead and save it. It said not required. I just like to do it. Next thing we're going to go to is additional. Now we're getting into some of the more specific information about that piece of equipment. You'll want to enter the serial number for your equipment and give it a model number if you happen to have the model number. Manufacturer, installation date, additional device if you had an additional device identification number maybe. For the device ID number, what we're putting here are the asset tag numbers. These are the metallic looking tags, or some locations they're black tags, but it says property of, and then it has a number stamped in it. These are going to get more and more emphasis. If your location doesn't have them, you might want to start looking at them. I actually recently purchased 500 of the stickers, so I have some. They're really expensive. They're high temp, low temp tolerant stickers. But this is where you'll be expected to put those numbers in. If you wanted to put the equipment description in, doesn't look like there's any pre-populated, but you could do that. And equipment condition description, we could put that in as well. I'm going to save it again. Now the next thing is schedule. If you had a schedule that a piece of equipment is operating, you could put that in here. Not so critical for hospitals maybe, but industrial sites, excuse me, or like here at Air Force Village where we have a water plant. We could put the schedule that the water plant is in is active, which actually it's active 24/7, but if it wasn't, you could put that in here. This way, whenever a PM is generated or any work order or anything, it would have the schedule on there so the technician knows when it's okay to work on that piece of equipment and when he needs to wait. The next block over is PM. Now, there's no PMs for this piece of equipment, but if there was, and we were editing it, you could go to the PM tab to see what PMs there are on that piece of equipment. And so we don't have any right now, so they're not there. Inspections. Again, last week we covered how to build an inspection. If you built an inspection for this air handler unit, which is ultimately where I would like to go with all the PMs, is transitioning them from just being notes to an actual inspection. Then you could pull that up here and see what the inspection is. You could go do the inspection and put the data in. There are no inspections tied with this because we're just creating this piece of equipment now. But we could tie a piece of it or an inspection to this piece of equipment. But my internet's running really slow and it hasn't come up yet. The next tab over is just notes. If you wanted to add any notes specific to this piece of equipment. A perfect example that I'm thinking of right now that I need to do here is we have a resident that has allergies, so his air filter in his AHU is a specific allergen filter. He doesn't get the same filters that everyone else gets. So I could go to his piece of equipment and enter a note here that says, do not replace filter. Resident uses allergen filters. Add the note. And now anytime this PM is generated, it's going to come out with that note on it so that the technician who goes out there knows, hey, don't change this air filter. Kits, I'm not exactly sure what this is. I assume it would be like a repair kit or some kind of, if you had prefabricated kits that you wanted to take out with you when you're working on a piece of equipment, put that information in there. The next tab is history. Now there's a history tab throughout Sprocket. If you ever go to the work order details screen, you'll see you have a history tab up there. The neat thing about history is you can see the entire change history for that work order or that piece of equipment. So you can tell if someone went in there and reassigned a work order, or you can tell that someone went in there and posted time to it, when they posted time, who did the time postings. It's really a beneficial tab. Okay. In fact, here you go. See, you can see that I created this piece of equipment, and I did it at 5:02, or 2:05, sorry. And then I updated it multiple times. You can see the object that I updated, the asset identifier, the mode identifier, warranty expiration. You can see what the old value was, what the new value is, purchase price, et cetera, et cetera. So it gives you a pretty good view of what happened to this, in this case, this piece of equipment, or your work order if you're looking at a work order. So that's pretty much it for creating a new piece of equipment. I'm going to save and exit. And after the piece of equipment is created, then you can go ahead and create a PM. Create a PM schedule, include that as one of the assets so that it'll generate a work order whenever that comes out. And I am going to go ahead and search for that piece of equipment that we just built. I know I started it with an exclamation mark, just why I'm putting that in there. There it is. Oops. HU 975. Okay, so here's the piece of equipment. I've searched for it. You can see the equipment identifier, the description, location identifier, and device ID. And what I'm doing now, I apologize, I did not log into Hosh before, so, or not today. So you can tell I haven't created this, on the fly. But what I'm going to do, this should be a clickable link right here under the equipment identifier. It is not on Hosh's right now, which is an error. So if you, on your site, you go to the equipment, you cannot click on the equipment identifier to start modifying it. Just give me a call, shoot me an email, however you want to do it, and I'll get it fixed for you. But like everything else in Sprocket, these are all reports. So you have to go edit it. I'm going to edit report just like we did last week. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to steal a piece of code from Air Force Villages because I know it's working and I don't want to take the time to dig through my notes and get the formula. So, it's really weird. So I'm going to come in. There it is. I don't know why it wasn't showing up. Must have been because you guys were watching me. And I'm going to make it a clickable link on Hosh's. I'm just changing the alias here. I showed you all that last week. So if you change it, this is what it's going to show up as on the form. Man, something crazy. So I've created it, I'm saving it, and like last week, again, I'm going to move it to the top of the list because I want it to be on the far left. And I'm going to save and exit. And we'll be back to a clickable link where we can edit this piece of equipment. Like I said, if you want, if yours does not show a clickable link, let me know and I'll get it fixed. Again, really sorry I wasn't ready for this and logged in and checked with it. So here we go. Now you see it's a clickable link. I'm going to go back to my error handler that I made for this demonstration. And now all I have to do is click on the link. And it'll take us back to the exact same screen you saw just a minute ago. But this will let us go in and edit it. So maybe we moved this piece of equipment and we need to adjust where we moved it to, or maybe it went out of service, so we need to go ahead and mark it as out of service. So here we are. We could change anything on here that we wanted to. We could change the identifier, change the location. In fact, let's do that. Maybe we moved it into one of the rooms. So we're putting it in Area A, Room 1. And maybe now we've decided this is a critical piece of equipment. I want to give it 100 escalation points. And we'll go ahead and give it. Oh, something else that we can do now in Sprocket. We can add custom fields on it. So for instance, here at Air Force Village, we've added 2 fields. So when you're on this screen, one of the fields says filter size. So whenever we do have something with a filter, you can put the filter size right on that piece of equipment. And we've added belt size. So if you have something with a belt, we can add that too. So when the technician goes out, on his work order, shows him what filter he'll need and what belt size he's going to need to take out with him. You can add attributes. You could attach a file. If maybe you wanted to attach a detailed diagram to a very technical piece of equipment, so whenever they go out, they have a diagram with them, you could do that. Okay, well, like I said, we just went through this, so I'm not going to go too far into how you edit it, but this is how you do it. You simply click on it, and then you can get into all of the information and edit it as needed. I'm going to save and exit again. And the next thing we're going to do today is locations. Now, everyone should have their locations put in. They're different than what you're used to, and like what Mary Lou's decided is she wanted to group them even further than how we've grouped them so far. And the benefit of doing that is it's easier for you to find your pieces of equipment if you know the scheme that you want to do. So what I'm going to do now is, everyone's scheme has been building number, floor number, area, and then room. So I'm going to add another area. I'm going to have building number, floor number, area number, or area, and then I'm going to add in an additional area within an area. So I'm going to go to 5410, the first floor, area A, and I am going to add a employee rec room under area A. Now to do that, all you have to do is go to the parent location that you want to put this child under. So my parent location is going to be A. I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to go to Add Child Location. So I've clicked on Add Child Location. It's going to populate some fields over on the right-hand side for me to fill in. So the location identifier follows the same naming scheme that we had. So I'm going to give it 5410-02-A-RC for Rec Center. Name, I'm going to put Recre, and I tell you, I want to work at this hospital because they're getting pool table, dartboard, etc. Now I have absolutely no idea why they went through such links to give latitude and longitude, but if any of y'all put latitude and longitude in your Sprocket, I'm going to check it. So that's all you have to do to add a new location. I'm going to click Save now. Okay, so it saved the location. So now we have to navigate back down to it. 5410, second floor, area A, and then now we're going to have a -RC right here. So this is the area we just made. So underneath that, I'm going to add another child because I'm sure inside that rec center we have our own pool room. So 5410-02-A-RC, and room 1 will be the pool room. And I'm going to save it. Locations do seem to get a little tedious. It's kind of painful because you have to keep saving it, and then you'll navigate through the tree, and then you have to save it again. But once you build your tree the way you want it, there should be very minor changes that you want to make to it. So, okay, mine's saving again. All right, my internet's apparently running pretty slow again today. Okay, so I'm going to expand 5410, second floor. I'm going to go down to my area A and then down to my rec center. And if I expand that, now you see we have RC-001 right there, which is our pool room. But I'm going to go ahead and add another child location. It'll be our dart room. Uh, 5410-02-A-RC-002. We'll call it our dart room. Okay, so now I've gone through creating new location. If you wanted to edit it, all you have to do is click on it in the tree, and it will open on the right-hand side. You can edit what you want to and hit save. I'm not going to show you all that, but what I will show you is if you have an area that moves. So if you built your locations right, and you have them built, and then maybe an entire suite moves to a new building. So in this example, I'm going to say that our rec room moved from 5410-02-A-RC, and we're moving to 5420, a whole new building. So all you have to do is right-click on it and select a new parent, and then you navigate down through 5420 where you want the new location to be. I'm going to put it on the second floor and in area B. So I'm going to click on the new parent location, and you will see it is no longer in 5410 area 2 or second floor area A. It is gone, and it's now right where I told it to be, under 5420, second floor area B. But if you move it, you will still have to go in there and change your naming scheme because see, it's still showing 5410, second floor A. But here it is. It threw me for a minute. So there's the pool table and the dart room. So creating and editing locations is literally that simple. I'm going to go ahead and delete this, and it's as simple as clicking on it. And it's going to open up, and logo or the hospital's logo up there. And you do that by going to Administration, System Configuration, and then Company Information. Now here you can change any of the information you want, enter the name, description. If you wanted to put a phone number on here, which I will do for demo purposes only, and then I'm going to remove my phone number. So I don't want everyone at Hosh calling me. You can enter the address, city, et cetera, et cetera. You can put notes. Here's where you would upload the logo file if you had one. I'm going to click on Upload, and we'll see if I have a picture that's going to fit.
On the new one, you may not, but I can email it to you.
Oh, yeah, if you email, or you can put it up there after this. I'm just seeing if I have one that I can put up for demo. And I wonder if my pop-up blockers do that, because it's not coming up. It must be. But it would just upload or open up with a standard window that you click Browse, you go select the photo you want to put, and then you click OK. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to click Browse. I'm going to go to my pictures. And I am going to put up there our Vanguard logo. Actually, that one's kind of big. Yeah, we'll give it a try, see what it looks like. So I'm uploading our Vanguard picture. And whenever you enter a support phone number and email address, where that shows up is right down here on the bottom. See, my email address was already in there. That's why it has my information there. If you wanted to, you could put a systems coordinator email address or phone number. If you want to put mine, you're welcome to, but please just put my phone number, not my cell phone. So I've made my changes. I'm going to save and exit. Now, whenever you change stuff to the main page itself, like the logo we just added or my phone number, 99% of the time you're going to have to log out and then log back in to see those changes. So although it's saving it now, I see my phone number is not here, the logo is not here. I'm going to go ahead and log out and then log back in. And hopefully it'll be right there staring at us. And after we do this, that concludes the session for this week. Next week I'm going to only cover one topic, but it's very in-depth, and it's going to be group management. We're going to make a new group. We're going to add some people to the groups. We're going to see permissions for the groups of what they can and can't see. So it would be like your web requester group or your VRI technician group or anything along those lines. Okay, I must not have liked our graphics. There's nothing up here. Here's my phone number down here on the footer, which we changed. And I'll have to get back to y'all if you want to put your logo up there. There is actually a maximum size, and it's really small, which may be why that logo didn't come up there, because it's probably too big. And that's it for the class, or for the training. Does anyone have any questions? Did I cover anything too fast?
Timing was good.
Okay. Well, like I said, we will not have this session next week. I'll put that in the email that I send out to everyone. Next week I'll be in one of our quarterly meetings, so it'll be 2 weeks from today. We will cover group management. So, thanks everyone for coming.